I just needed to wash my car. And now, 6 months later, I own a drying towel cost more than my first car insurance payment. I also have an opinion on foam cannons. I was even looking at booking a paint correction appointment for my car. See, nobody told me that the detailing phase is a phase you don't come back from. So I guess this video is the warning that I never got. It all starts with a wash. Specifically a wash where you notice something. A swirl mark, a water spot that won't come off, a section of paint where the light catches it wrong, and you see for the first time the actual condition of the paint. In a car you've been looking at for 2 years. Before this moment, washing your car was maintenance. Now, it's a project. The entry-level research takes about an hour and ends with you knowing what a pH-neutral shampoo is and how apparently you've been destroying your paint with whatever product you've been using before. The rabbit hole is not patient. It pulls you in and it pulls you in fast.
I'm extremely confused.
You're confused. I'm confused, bro.
Within a week, you'll understand the 2-bucket method, the grit guard, and the difference between a wash mitt and a sponge. The sponge is bad. You had a sponge, and the sponge is gone now, isn't it? The first dedicated product purchase feels reasonable. You need a shampoo, maybe even a wheel cleaner that won't attack your wheel's finish. Spend about $30 and you feel like you've handled it. And then maybe you read something about iron fallout remover. Iron particles from brake dust that sit on your paint and on your wheels oxidizing unless you treat them properly. You didn't know this was happening. And it's been happening for years. And the rabbit hole pulls you back in. So you go out and you buy the iron fallout remover. Then there's the clay bar. Clay bar removes contamination that the wash doesn't get. Industrial fallout, overspray, anything that's bonded to the clear coat instead of just sitting on. You run your hand on the panel after claying it for the first time. The difference in texture, it's so immediate, it's almost offensive. And you've been looking at that paint for 2 years without knowing this. This is the point where the product shelf appears. It started as one bottle, but it's no longer just one bottle. Paint correction is where the hobby really reveals its depth. The circular fine scratches you see are almost always inflicted by an incorrect washing technique. The sponge, the automatic wash, a dry wipe, a towel that had a little bit of dirt on it, years of good intentions leaving a record in the clear coat. And correcting these requires machine polishing, either a rotary or a dual action polisher, working compound into your clear coat, removing a microscopic layer of your clear coat. And properly, the result is a paint that looks better than when it came out of the factory. Done wrong, you burn your clear coat and now the whole car needs to be resprayed. Most people at this stage make a decision. DIY or pay somebody who already knows what they're doing to do it. The DIY takes practice. And the first car you practice on may very well leave evidence of your learning. Professional route costs money. A proper correction of one panel at a professional shop can run you minimum $150. Either way, you're invested in your paint surface in a way that's irrational yet completely understandable. And then once you finally have the paint in the stage that you wanted, looking like you want it, the question becomes, how do you protect it? The traditional answer is wax. Wax on, wax off, applied by hand, buff off, done. And protects your paint for 3 to 6 months. And the car people that love wax love it with a loyalty that goes beyond utility. It's pretty much like the movie. It requires a ritual.
Wax on, wax off.
It requires patience. Wax people are very serious about wax. Then you got the modern answer, which is ceramic coating, a silica-based compound that bonds chemically to your clear coat and produces a hardened surface that repels water, dust, and even some light scratches. The hydrophobic effect, watching the water beat off the paint when you wash your car, is genuinely satisfying in a way that's very hard to defend to people who don't care about cars. Beyond ceramic coating, you got PPF, or paint protection film, a physical barrier between the exterior and your paint, bonded to high impact areas and self-healing under heat. Invisible when done properly, but it has a drawback, and it's the cost. PPFing a mid-sized car here in Canada runs from $1,500 to $3,000. You now know what PPF is, and approximately how much it costs. 6 months ago, you had a sponge. Here's what I'll tell you. The rabbit hole produces better results. The car looks better, the paint is better protected. You understand the machine more completely because you spend time studying its surface. It also costs money you didn't plan for, takes up shelf space, and produces strong opinions about things that previously didn't exist in your life. Both things are true. Go in the rabbit hole knowing that, and do me a favor, get rid of that sponge.